So look, if you want to grow your wealth, your income, and increase the amount of time off, then these are the shortcuts that can help. Welcome to the Wealth Creation Podcast. And welcome everybody, it's Dan, hope you're well. Welcome to the podcast show. In today's session, I want to talk about being one offer away. This was something I've been thinking about all weekend. And it is this idea that, imagine if you just learned something or you just put something in place and it changed your life forever. Like that could be a way of losing weight. If you've always struggled with weight loss and you got to the stage where you learned a particular thing, maybe it was protein or working out, whatever it is, and you implement it and it just changes your life. And this is the same in business as well, because if you can get one offer in your business that generates leads that you can then follow up and upsell, for example, something we just had a conversation about with one of our coaching clients about how do we get them into a position where we can turn on an ad set, a whole bunch of content, a landing page with a call to action, and we can start actually generating more leads for them. And so we just spent all morning actually putting that together for them, creating the landing page, creating the free download, working out what the upsell is going to be, working out what the sales speak is going to be in that upsell, and then looking at the retargeting of Facebook ads to drive people that downloaded the guide onto the upsell. And that's what we've put together. And that is literally taking somebody who's struggling with leads and generating leads and getting sales and turning that into somebody who is now getting leads on a sustainable, a scalable, on a consistent basis. And so that's what the one offer challenge or one offer away challenge is. It's about you getting to the stage where you just run one advert, not multiple adverts. You don't need to run lots and lots of content, although content is really important. We will talk about that, but it's not to the levels that you've had to run it before. We produce a lot of content because we want to help as many people as we can, and it's a really good way of getting in front of as many people as you can organically, and it's a great way of building trust. But it's not just organic content that will get you those results. It's a combination of organic content and, in particular, paid ads going to a landing page. And so in this session, I want to actually just cover that. So landing pages. This is what we're going to cover today, folks. Landing pages, how to create high converting pages that turn your visitors into buyers. We're going to talk about building content for trust purposes. The type of content you're going to need to build credibility. We're going to talk about paid ads, how to use paid ads like Google and Facebook ads to drive cold traffic. And then we'll talk about the 90-10 rule, which is about us doing most of the work and you not having to do much work at all. So before I do that, let me just shut down a few applications here to make sure that my live stream is working fast enough. There we go. Okay, that's cool. Okay, so let's talk about number one then, which is landing page has to be designed to convert. And this is where a lot of people get it wrong. They're running Facebook ads or Google pay-per-click ads and they're just running them to the homepage, and it generally doesn't work. It generally just doesn't work because the call to action doesn't match where they're landing. So if it is, I don't know, download our property sourcing guide, and then land on your homepage, it's like, well, where's the guide? It's not congruent. And because your advert says one thing, the landing page says something else, that lack of congruency leads people to a lack of trust. And, in the olden days, it was much harder to get someone to distrust you. Now, nobody trusts anybody because of all the lies that it's just okay to say and talk about, so it seems, with politics, which invades every angle of our lives. And so nobody trusts anybody, and it kind of seeps into all of the aspects of our life, such as running adverts, for example. Nobody trusts you anymore. Everything's a scam. Everything looks like a scam. And it's very, very difficult. So you've got to get really congruent on what your advert is going to say, and then what your landing page actually says as well. And then also, we've seen some really dreadful landing pages with call to actions all over the place. Like a landing page, it's trying to be all things to all people. Oh, well, we sell this as well, so you need to stick that on. Oh, you need to sell this as well, so you need to stick that on. Oh, and we do this extra thing, that has to go on there. It's like, no, that's all completely wrong. Sell one thing on a landing page. Have one advert that talks about one thing, that drives them to a landing page, that talks about one thing. And then maybe it's a free download or a free training course, whatever that happens to be. And then the upsell should be it should be congruent with what you've just been talking about, both on the Facebook ad and the landing page and your download. And then the upsell should be something relevant for those three things that you've just talked about. And again, most people don't do that because they're trying to sell everything, including the kitchen sink and everything else, all on one go. Like they've got one opportunity to impress someone, so they go, "Bleh," and they get all this stuff out, and then they're not interested because you're trying to sell too much all at the same time. So on a lot of people's landing pages, there's too much of different things instead of just selling the one thing. And that one thing should be, what's the next easiest step? Like, what do you want to happen when somebody lands on your landing page? Well, I want them to buy a £200,000 training course. Right, well, that's not going to happen, though, is it? What's the next easy thing that they can do? Not what you want them to do, but what they feel comfortable in doing. They're not going to buy a £2,000 training course off a Facebook ad, for example. You need to warm them up in some way. And the way in which we warm them up is by producing content, which nicely, little segue there into the content. The content is designed to build trust. And you should be building trust in all of your ad campaigns. And the way in which you build trust really easily is by doing stuff like this. We live stream almost every day. And sometimes we talk about all sorts of random stuff. But what happens is that people get to know us and they get to like us and they get to understand what we're doing and what we're about and whether they want to work with us or not and so on. And that's what the trust aspect is. You can't force trust. So, for example, people go, well, I'll just run Facebook ads and that'll help build the trust. No. Because anyone can run a Facebook ad. I could run a Facebook ad for, let's say, this chair. Buy this chair, it's £5. Just pay online, £5 delivery. Like, does that sound like a scam to you? It sounds like a scam. This is an expensive chair, right? Not that expensive, but expensive enough, more than £5. But if I'm selling it for £5, that hopefully should raise alarm bells, and quite rightly so. But what did it take me to get that advert on Facebook? Hardly anything. Anyone can run adverts on Facebook. It's really easy to do. Getting them to work, that's where the magic is. Anyone can push buttons, right? A chimpanzee could push buttons, but actually getting the advert to convert is something else entirely. Unless it's a £200 chair for £5, but then there's no trust there. So you can't run paid ads to build trust, but you can run organic content that builds trust. And what happens is, we've had random people go onto our Instagram and they've liked something from years ago, and you're like, that's a bit weird. What are you doing? Are you just like stalking me? Are you going through all of my Instagram pages and accidentally click on one? The Pope accidentally clicked on a OnlyFans model a couple of years back or whatever it was, and he didn't know how to undo it, which I thought was quite funny. But people do go through your old stuff. And if you're inconsistent, if you've got a Facebook page that was created on the 1st of December 2024, and today's the 3rd of February, if you've got that, and it's only just been created, and you've got 2-3 pieces of content, you've got no trust, people aren't going to buy from you. And so you need a landing page that converts, and we're going to talk about paid ads in a second, but you also need content that is there to build trust so that people get to know, like, and trust you. We call it KLTAC. Know, like, trust, authenticity, and consistency. KLTAC, KLTAC. It's not a name of a spaceship in Stargate universe, Stargate 1. So this is the thing that you need to have implemented, is all of this content has to be created in such a way it puts your brand and services and products and maybe your shiny face out there as well, so that you can start to build KLTAC. Know, like, and trust, authenticity, and consistency. And then just finally on this, really, well, not quite finally, almost finally, is the paid ads. You need to be running paid ads because the organic content will go out to people who already know who you are, but there is a very slim chance that people who don't know who you are will get to see it. Okay? So that's organic content. It won't go out to people who doesn't know who you are. Paid adverts, however, you're paying for the privilege of those adverts and that message and that content to reach other people that the organic content won't reach. And so you need both to happen in your business. So the cold traffic, which is paid on Facebook and Google, that's reaching out to people who've never seen you before. They might like it or they might comment and that kind of thing, which means then your organic content is more likely to be presented to them so that they can then engage with that content, watch it, or whatever that happens to be as well. It's one of the reasons why you should be running paid ads on Google and Facebook, because it will really help your organic content. Now, is this easy to do? It's really not easy to do. You know, we take on new clients and they go, yeah, I just want Facebook ads running to this page. I've got this download. And we look at the landing page and we're like, oh gosh, this is not going to work. And then we look at the download and we're like, oh my gosh, looks like a 5-year-old crayoned it, you know, to make it look pretty. And it's just not, it's not going to work. And so we have to step in and we have to improve their landing page, because if the landing page doesn't convert, it's fine running and spending lots of money running Facebook ads, but once we get to the landing page, that doesn't convert. You just wasted your money on Facebook ads. There's not much point in doing it. So let's get your landing page working properly. And then what's this download looking like? Okay, so let's improve on that. And then what is the process for the following up? What's the retargeting process? We mentioned that at the start. We want to be retargeting people to then upsell them onto the next simple thing. And what does that actually look like? And what's that going to consist of? And then actually, what's your sales pitch? Like, you know, someone downloads a free guide and then you're going to follow them up. Yeah, okay. So you're going to get them on the phone. What are you asking? And they're like, well, I don't know. I'll make it up as I go. It's like, no. We don't want to do that. We want to have a sales process in place. And so, you know, when digital marketing agencies such as ours are setting this lot up, we want to understand what's the landing page, what's the download, what's the paid ads, what's the Google ad, what's the retargeting, what's your sales process, what's your email sequence going to look like, because it should encompass all of that. You want to be giving yourself the best opportunity to close a client as possible. And all these things have to be in place. Now, is that a lot of work? Yes, it is the answer. If you don't know what you're doing, it's even more work, because first of all, you have to work out what you're doing. But then because you've not got any experience. Like, if you're doing it for the first time, how experienced really are you? Whereas you send it to us and we're doing it for the 100th time, and we've done it and we've got all these other results that we've had for other clients, we actually know what we're doing. And so the first way, which is you doing it, means it's more than likely it's not going to work. You're just going to spend a lot of money on something that doesn't work. You're going to go round and round the houses for the next few years trying to get something that you don't know enough about to work. It's like me trying to fix a Eurofighter. Like, I have no idea how a plane works, for God's sake. How am I going to fix a Eurofighter or make it faster? Like, I have no idea. But that's what people are trying to do with their own Facebook ads and their own marketing funnels. And then they wonder why it doesn't work. Then they say things like, I tried Facebook ads, it doesn't work. You're right, it doesn't work for you because you did it. I tried fixing a Eurofighter, that didn't work. They're rubbish planes. Yeah, but why don't you get the guy that fixes Eurofighters to fix the Eurofighter? Right, it's going to be a great plane, I imagine. I imagine it's a great plane. So you've got to get all of that in place. And then just finally on this, which really is the content, but also the Facebook ads and the whole thing really, is what we call the 90-10 rule. The 90-10 rule is where we do 90% of it. So yeah, we might ask you, so let's say that you're a plumber in Gateshead, for Newcastle, let's say, and you want to install Bosch boilers. I don't know, completely random. I don't know anything about Bosch boilers. Probably not quite true. I know a little bit because I'm a landlord, but I need you to help me with some of this stuff. Like, what should the text be? And then we'll make it look prettier, right, for the end user instead of plumber speak. And so this is the 90-10 rule where we do 90% of it. What's your Facebook ads going to look like? What image? Have you got a picture of a boiler? Let's use that and then we'll make it look pretty. What's the follow-up sequence going to look like? What's the upsell going to look like? And then you don't know, okay, let's write a spiel. Let's get you to practice it. And then when the leads have been generated, then you're going to hit the phones and then, you know, let us know how that goes. What bits can we improve upon? That's the 90-10 rule. And then on the content, things like doing video interviews works really well for our clients because we have an interviewer that we pay for who interviews our clients, and then we pull out all the little short videos from that. And then we publish all of those out on social media, including from time to time podcasts. Like, that's the 90-10 rule. So you end up only having to do 10% of all of it, and we do the other 90%, and it's very, very effective. And what you tend to end up with is landing page that converts, organic traffic that builds trust, paid traffic that gets you out to cold people who've never heard you before,
then gets you to download the free guide, which actually converts as well. And then you have a follow-up sequence with a sales pitch in between. And then you have an email automation sequence. That really is the one offer away challenge. You are just literally, you get that right, you never have to worry about money ever again. You never have to worry about generating leads. And to an extent, that's mostly true, except we know that Facebook ads go stale. Right, like we know that because we run Facebook ads day in, day out for our clients. We know that they eventually go stale. We have to keep coming up with new stuff. But you know what the good news about that is? We have to keep coming up with new stuff, not you. That's the 90-10 rule in full effect. All right, so if you're interested in that, go click the link. Join me for a strategy session. Let's chat about your business, work out what the one offer away is going to be, and then let's see how we can help you. Other than that, I hope you found that useful. We'll speak to you soon. Have a great day. Take care.
Hey, it's Dan here. Thank you for listening. Really appreciate each and every one of you. Please click like or subscribe to the entire podcast.